this one developing?
Well, if Akovic breaks from the stalls, which he doesn't always, then he might go forward, but it's a while since he kind of did do that. He was always best ridden in that way previously, but he'd need to be sharper out than he was last time. Navajo Star probably in Master Grey. I think they'll keep it pretty straightforward with him and not try and take anything to chance with him. If he gets a clear run and he's in the same form as he was last week, I think Master Grey very much a worthy favourite. I can see Dagenham potentially, if you forgive the last run, go back to some of last season's form, including a win at this track. I can see him potentially outrunning a big price.
Okay, a reminder that betting for the 5 o'clock at Sligo is at the bottom of the screen, so be aware that we're only 4 minutes away from the advertised off time for the first race from Sligo. You see how Bailarico runs with the visor on for the first time, but True Destiny, hoping that he can continue and fulfill some of that potential that we believe he has. The last couple coming forward, so over we go to David Fitzgerald.
Thanks, Rishi. All set. And they're off over 2 miles in this Join Racing TV Now handicap. Akovic has got away pretty well and is up there early on with Master Grey. The white sleeves then, True Destiny, with Navajo Star, the dark green and yellow, to the outside, Dagenham, the white face. Back 3 early on, Fields of Fortune. Best turned out winner in company with Knight Commander, and Bailarico has dropped out in last place. They continue to make their way down the straight with Akovic and Callum Shepherd making the running. 2 in second position, that is shared between last week's Chepstow winner Master Grey, who's just in front of True Destiny. They are second and third with Navajo Star. And she's taking a keen enough hold at this steady pace early on in fourth under Sean Levy. He looks for a double. Dagenham is then on the outside of Knight Commander and Rail to Silver. And on the rail is Fields of Fortune, and Bailarico is watching on from last place. They've crossed the winning line, a circuit in front of them, and Akovic is getting on with it here and leads the way by a length and a half to Master Grey, sitting in second spot. A very clear victory it was for him last week. Oisin Murphy again in the saddle. Adam McNamara in third on True Destiny. And then Navajo Star. She's next with Dagenham on the outside in the very famous Paisley Park colours of owner Andrew Gemmell. And that one races in fifth, just ahead of Knight Commander. And then Fields of Fortune, and Bailarico continues in last place at this stage, probably 10 lengths behind the one in front, and that is Akovic, who's opened up by about 3 here to Master Grey in second, and the rest are in slightly closer proximity to each other, with True Destiny third. Navajo Star still hasn't quite settled and is just about pulling away into third now, sharing that with True Destiny. And then Knight Commander on the inside, Dagenham. And on the rail, closest to the rail, is Fields of Fortune and James Dorr. Bailarico is in last place. So they've got about 7 furlongs left to cover here. They're past halfway in the Join Racing TV Now handicap, and it is still Akovic leading to Master Grey. Akovic from Master Grey. True Destiny is in third, having only his second run on turf today. Navajo Star, she continues in fourth position. And then Fields of Fortune, not much change in the order here. Dagenham still on the outside of Knight Commander, and Bailarico is last of all. Coming into the home straight then, approaching their last half mile, and Akovic still leads. 9 times a winner in front of Master Grey in second spot. True Destiny is still there in third. Navajo Star to the outside. Going nicely enough is Fields of Fortune. He's never won a race on the flat. Fields of Fortune. He's just behind horses at the moment. Navajo Star. Murphy is now getting at Master Grey. As now coming through to lead is True Destiny from Akovic. Master Grey is struggling. Navajo Star, Fields of Fortune. Dagenham on the outside. Bailarico is just ghosting into it, has passed a few in the red and dark blue jacket, but True Destiny is going to take a bit of catching here as they run to the last furlong and a half. In second, Fields of Fortune, then Bailarico ahead of Dagenham and Master Grey, but True Destiny, oh, this is in the bag. True Destiny by 6 or 7 to Bailarico in second place. Adam McNamara has got this one hands down as he takes it easy close home. True Destiny has won for Roger Charlton. Bailarico, much the best of the rest, second. Fields of Fortune third. Dagenham fourth.
He's done that very easily here for Roger Charlton. Adam McNamara, True Destiny, only his second start ever on the turf. The last back in 2017 at Nottingham, but so good today, 6-1. Full result and reflection reaction to come from Nottingham. We're going to take you straight to Sligo for the action there. We're on good ground and we'll see Lincoln, the fancied horse here, 11-10 the favourite. T for Tango 11-4, Ackern at 5-1, and then we're 14s, Nayland 16-1, highly approved, and Stamp of Authority 33-1. A little bit of money for Florida's King, certainly been shortened anyway, and bigger price about the rest. But Lincoln now for Dennis Hogan, Rory Cleary combining. And, well, we'll all remember him if you've enjoyed his career over here in England. 5 times a winner when trained by Mick Shannon on the ratings. Well, he must have an excellent chance. And he is already in. And the last will be Florida's King. Let's join the action in Ireland then. And Jerry Hannon with the call.
All appear in. They're off, and jumping away very smartly was Lincoln, with T for Tango on the outside, being followed down the far side of the track by Guiding Star and Stamp of Authority. A break of a couple of lengths then to Nayland, who's being followed by Blues Breaker and Ackern, highly approved next, and then Timber and Florida's King is the back marker. Racing to the bottom of the track in race 1, the O'Hare's Bakery claiming race over 6, and it is Lincoln in front by a length to T for Tango and then Guiding Star, who's disputing 3rd place, heading towards halfway with Stamp of Authority and then Blues Breaker and Nayland. They're beginning to tighten up, beginning the run towards the entrance to the straight, with Lincoln in the lead from T for Tango. Just behind them, Guiding Star is on the inside of Stamp of Authority and then Nayland, and they're followed across the straight by Blues Breaker as they run the home bend. Less than 2 to go, and it's Lincoln out in front, has kicked on from T for Tango, Guiding Star, then Stamp of Authority, highly approved, is next, and then Nayland, but well inside the final furlong. It is Lincoln out 3 lengths in front of T for Tango and Guiding Star, as Lincoln makes all under Rory Cleary for hot and form. Dennis Hogan, second is T for Tango, then Guiding Star, Stamp of Authority, highly approved.
Well, it was very well fancied here, and nice to see Lincoln win for Dennis Hogan, and good to see this 8-year-old win again, adding to the 5 career victories when trained in England by Mick Shannon. But it was a solid effort last time out at Cork, and coming into this event, a claiming contest, well, he's won it very easily in the end. T for Tango's finished back in second, and Guiding Star, the mare, was chasing, but not really making up any inroads into the lead. But straightforward stuff once they got inside the final furlong. Rory Cleary's just kicked him on, and he's not really had a tough time at all, has he? He's just extended the advantage and has breezed on by. Quite an impressive performance there. He used to be a very nice horse. Big wins on his CV at Pontefract, Doncaster, and plenty of life left in him, so they'll be delighted with that. Scoring for the team for the first time, and as you've heard from Jerry Hannon, a yard in mighty form at the minute, and it's a winning favourite in our first at Sligo. So congratulations to the team. Lincoln, Dennis Hogan and Rory Cleary combined to win at Sligo. Looking forward to the action continuing at Sligo throughout the evening here on Racing TV, with Huntington along the way. For now, though, let's return to Rishi at Nottingham.
Adam McNamara has ridden True Destiny to was a very easy success. How much did you enjoy looking around in the closing stages?
I was surprised, really. Because to be fair, when I got there, he felt like he was having a good look around, which he can do. So I got stuck into him and then didn't hear anything come when I looked around, and there was nothing there, so surprised.
And the thing about this horse is, I think when he first won on the all-weather, we were saying beforehand, it looked like he was on an upward trajectory and that he might just develop into quite a smart handicapper. Yeah. What happened to him in the interim?
Look, he's just a very tricky horse. It depends on what side of bed he wants to wake up on. Like when he had blinkers and tongue tie on, and then he didn't face them the next time, and we've always had to play around with him, ride him a little bit differently, but it looks like the penny's really dropping now, and he's enjoyed it back on grass. He's probably a better horse on turf than we thought he would be, so he's definitely on the up.
You said beforehand that he had the potential, given what he showed early on, that he could perhaps progress into a heritage handicap kind of horse if things go well. How far away is that assertion?
It's a little bit far away at the moment. Like I say, if he keeps progressing like he has done, and if he progresses again on the grass, then it wouldn't be unrealistic, I suppose. But at the moment, he's going to need to take some big steps.
It's a big one today, and well done to you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
So that was just me indulging in thinking that maybe this horse has the potential to progress up the ranks. But let's just focus on what he did today. A lot went right for him. I think one of the things that helped him, Martin, was the fact that he had a nice position on the rail, given that he's hung before, having that rail to race again in the closing stages as well.
I think he's benefited as well. You get a lot of these races on the all-weather staying races that are not truly run.
Yeah.
They develop into sprint finishes from the last 3 furlongs or so, really. But you've got Akavit taking them along at a really solid-looking gallop.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a test of stamina than the all-weather races that he's been in, and it's just suited him really well. You know, he's able to travel. He's capable of travelling at that speed and staying on the bridle a little bit longer than other horses in these type of situations, you know, and I think it's just helped him to just keep on grinding away rather than being asked to quicken and do anything too quickly.
We can see Master Grey in 5th, the grey horse just backing out of it at the moment. He was disappointed.
He was. You do get it, don't you? The horses that have produced big performances one week, and you always run the risk when you run the horses back quickly that they're just not going to fire on a quick turnaround, and it just appears a simple case of that with Master Grey. He's obviously much better than this, and I'm sure they'll look at just freshening him up and getting him back on track, but it was a flat out disappointing performance. Bellerico's run well.
Yep.
He got no room for briefly up the rail, and the winner was away and gone by the time he'd got out. You know, he's finished with running left, I would say, and he's clear of the pack, so don't give up on him. There'll be another handicap in him this year.
Feels a fortune in the Ponsonby colours, running a creditable race, having been a bit below par last time. Connections would have been encouraged by what they saw today.
Well, he's run better back on the flat, but he's still never won a race, has he? And he's beaten a long way back in 3rd. Akavit did get out the stalls today, but maybe his heart's just not quite in it as it used to be. He's an older horse nowadays, and when he comes under pressure, he just seems to give in a little bit and quite quickly backs down the field. What else have we got in there? Dagenhau's disappointed again, hasn't he, really?
He's still beaten a long way in the end.
He's been beaten a long way, and Navajo Star not quite reproducing her all-weather form today.
She was keen through the early part of the race. Perhaps that's an excuse, but this was the moment there. You're seeing True Destiny and Adam McNamara. He's looking around. He has one with plenty in hand.
And you're shouting to me, he's going to win the Cesarewitch, he's going to win this.
Pretty much... You've nailed it, really. So either Cesaro,
not quite. To be fair,
we might take the E-ball in. He's got speed. Is this a win and you're in race?
Just
for the E-ball?
Just the E-ball. No, I think. Look, how much will he go up now? 10?
Was he off today?
7, 8, 9, 10?
69.
Up to high 70s at least.
Yeah, high 70s. So next win takes us up to high 80s. One more.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe need 5 wins to get in the E-ball, perhaps.
Quite possible.
We'll see.
But we're on the right track for this lovely son of Master Craftsman to fulfil his true destiny. Hi, Tom.
It's Rishi Prasad, everyone. Thank you very much indeed. I thought the lovely son of Master Craftsman, he was talking about Martin Dixon for some weird moment there, but I've got his brother in alongside me as well, who we'll talk to very shortly. Chris Dixon. We're double Dixoning today on Racing TV. True Destiny was the winner, 6-1. Adam McNamara, Roger Charlton, another winner for him. Bellerico, second at 7-2. Fields of Fortune, 9-1, was back in 3rd. 3 1/4 lengths the winning distance. 8 ran. Let's have a look at the time for Nottingham. True Destiny, 3:30.33, 7.33 outside of the standard. Very competitive furlong per furlong, that, given the trip. The first at Sligo went to Lincoln, 11-10 favourites. Rory Cleary, Dennis Hogan combining. 1 to James McCauley. T for Tango was second, 11-4. Guiding Star was 3rd at 66-1. 1 didn't go, 10 ran. That was in the O'Hare's Bakery claiming race, won by Lincoln, 11-10 favourite.
I'll move this.
Looking forward to the evening action there. Don't put that away, Chris Dixon. You can leave it right where it is. Because I was going to say, what's lovely about Martin Dixon is he's Mr. No Frills, whereas this guy, 2 computers, Chris. Please explain why you have 2 computers this evening.
Well, that's just the sort of one for just doing a bit of general work on websites. This has got my Proform database on it, and I was just going to run some stats.
I'm amazed. You're such a modern man. Are you at home, in all seriousness, do you have a couple of screens that you do you have an office with a couple of screens going on?
Yeah.